The butterflies are blooming. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today I'm out in our butterfly house, and there are so many monarch butterflies out here right now, and it's been kind of fun to watch as they've been going from plant to plant, and they've even been laying a lot of eggs today. So we're going to go ahead and just take a walk through the butterfly house, show you what's blooming, show you the butterflies, and the excitement just continues with the different cycles that these butterflies go through, you know, from the butterfly to the egg to the caterpillars to the chrysalises. It's been so fun to watch. We started off with 100 caterpillars this year, and although there's not 100 butterflies in here at the moment, there's probably close to 50 or so. So let's go ahead and take a look at the butterflies. We'll start off here on this Miss Molly butterfly bush where they are just hanging out this morning. So it's still pretty early in the day, and in the morning they like to tend to hang out higher up in the greenhouse where it's just a little bit warmer. So usually when we look in the corners and look up along the plastic, that's where we'll see them. But as the day warms up and they are more active, then they come down and hang out more here on the butterfly bushes, the Asclepias, and all of the various plants that we give for them to pollinate with, and also their host plants for them to lay eggs on. We're also trying to get some black swallowtails in here, so we do have some fennel and dill, which are the host plants for the black swallowtails, but we're waiting to see what nature is doing outside to see if there's any caterpillars that we can bring in. So they have been busy laying eggs. As I was in here a little bit earlier just watching the girls go to town, we're seeing just teeny tiny little eggs on the plants. So there was one I just showed you, but I'm going to show you a top view where it might be a little bit easier to see the eggs. They're so small, so it's hard to zoom in on, but right there you'll see a duo. There's two of them right on top of each other. Typically when they're laying their eggs, the eggs are on the underside of the leaves, but they are not being picky as to where they're laying them this year. There's another one. So milkweed is essential if you want to have monarch butterflies in your garden, because it's the host plant, it's the plant the eggs get laid on, and it's also the plant that the caterpillars eat when they're going through their life cycle. So let's talk about some of the plants that we have here in the butterfly house. We have Gara. This is a beautiful specimen of Gara. This is the Carolee Petite Pink. Also some Nepeta, cat's pajamas. As I mentioned, milkweed is essential. This is a swamp milkweed with its white flowers. We've got some Daisy May, Leucanthemum. They're fluttering around, chasing each other. We love it when the butterflies chase each other. Here's a huge specimen of fennel, just waiting for those black swallowtails to arrive. One thing I will say in the butterfly house is the plants do tend to be about 4 to 6 weeks ahead of the normal outside schedule. So if you're like, wow, Heidi, how do you have allium blooming right now? It's because this is a very hot, warm environment, and everything is just further along and further ahead. So these are the Allium millennium, and these are great pollinator plants, especially for bees in the garden. Kind of a fun and whimsy look. We also have a lot of verbena meteor showers. The butterflies like to hang out on the meteor showers as well. This area here you'll see is just jam-packed full of milkweed. We've quickly learned over the years to never underestimate the power of a butterfly and a caterpillar and how much milkweed it goes through. So if you are raising monarchs, make sure you have sufficient amount of milkweed, because it's incredible. It is, I can't even describe how much food they go through in their life cycle. We've got some sweet alyssum here. This is the Lobularia Violet Night lining the pathway. Got a few of the Pugster butterfly bush here waiting to open up, the compact short growing varieties. In the back there we've got some of the Tuberosa, and right now there's actually a monarch on it. This is a male. We can tell it's a male because he's got those little dots on his back wings. But the males too, they enjoy the pollen that the flowers provide. Here's a female fluttering around, enjoying the cone flowers. There's actually two of them on there right now. And again, you can tell the males from the females because on the back wings, the males have two dots, one on each of the back wings, and that's what signifies if it's a male or not. Monarda's looking beautiful. Kufia vermillionaire, this is a hummingbird favorite. Now we don't get hummingbirds in here because it's enclosed, but the butterflies also do really enjoy it. Here's a Pugster butterfly bush looking Beautiful. Check out the size of these blooms. So I'm going to wrap my hand around it just so you can kind of see, like this is my hand trying to wrap around that bloom. That is how large it is. This full flower here is about 10 inches. And I would say if we were measuring from one side to the other, we probably got about 3 or 4 inches across. Mahogany monster. This heuchera has done amazing in this butterfly house ever since it was planted up. Beautiful foliage, always in flower, just an absolutely striking perennial. Behind it is the candy corn spirea, and this is done flowering now. Again, we're ahead of schedule, but these are all spent blooms, and it's going to continue to put on more flowers though throughout the summer. And then you can also see that beautiful foliage with that beautiful kind of a rusty red tip, giving it kind of a bi or tricolor look. Lots of milkweed, lots of cone flowers. Zinnia are another important thing when putting together a butterfly garden because the butterflies really enjoy hanging out on the zinnias. Got some tall phlox here that are done blooming, so we'll give those a trim and they'll be blooming back again. Another pugster butterfly bush. I really like the pugsters in this setting because they don't get so big, so they're just kind of perfect for in the greenhouse here. Walking up to this milkweed, again, I'm seeing tons of eggs, just tons of eggs. I'm going to see if I can focus in on one a little closer for you. So right there in front of my finger, that little white dot, it's kind of oblong, a little bit of an oval shape to it. That is what you're looking for when you're looking for monarch eggs on a plant. There's 2 more. And like I said, usually they're laying them on the underneath sides, but they're just laying them anywhere and everywhere right now. So we do notice that the butterfly house does kind of cycle a little bit, meaning we had our caterpillars that went to chrysalis, and now everything's starting to bloom. So I'd say the bloom, going into bloom, the butterflies are hatched, and so there's a lot of butterflies right now. So they're laying eggs. The butterflies usually last 10 days, maybe 14 days or so in their life cycle. So once these guys are done, the eggs will hatch and we'll be having another round of caterpillars, which keeps the cycle going here in the butterfly house. Somebody just came to visit us. Here's a butterfly hanging out under monarch rose Asclepias. So probably doing some egg laying right now. The aqua pots are doing great. These are self-watering pots. There's water in them, so they continually feed and water off of the fertilizer and water that we provide in each of the aqua pots. This particular aqua pot has the trailing rose veined Supertunia along with Sun Patience White, and then in the back there is the Coleus, and I think that's the Fishnet Stockings Coleus. This Miss Molly butterfly bush was an excellent hiding spot for the chrysalises. So we had a ton of milkweed just kind of sitting here underneath of that butterfly bush, and as the caterpillars were ready to go off, a lot of them hid in the butterfly bush and have hatched from in this location. So you never know where you're going to find those chrysalises. They will walk quite a distance to go find their final resting place. The aqua pot here in the center, if you watched us do the planting video of this, is doing very nicely. It's got the Mizu trailing red vine, which looks nice with that cobalt blue pot. We've got the lemon zest lantana, some rose pentas, and the salvia rockin' deep purple. Love that mix of colors. Some sedum in here. So when we plant this garden up, we also try to keep in mind of making sure that we have flowers that will always be in color even into the fall. Last year the caterpillars and butterflies and such were here until about early October, and at that point anytime a butterfly had emerged we made sure to let it go to let them fly off to head south. Last year we released approximately 2,000 butterflies out of this butterfly house. We took several of them to different schools and such to kind of educate them on monarch butterflies and their life cycles. So that was kind of a fun experience for us to be able to educate the children on the importance of the monarch butterfly. So if you're in the area, we welcome you to stop in and visit us here at Garden Crossings. While you're here, check out the butterfly house where the butterflies are blooming. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.